All right, guys. Hi, hello. Welcome to the almost end of the school year. I hope you guys all had nice long weekends. What we got going on today through the end of the semester is one final thing. This is it. This is the last step for your world studies course, and it is connected to your research you've been working on and off for the last couple of months, where you take all of that research and you're going to turn it into a visual presentation about your civilization that you had chosen. So what I'm going to do is that on Classroom, there is a direction sheet, there's the rubric, there's this, of course, and I encourage you to take a close look at all of that stuff and kind of get your bearings before you dive face first into all of this. But again, it is something to kind of keep in mind. So I'm going to go through the step by step on how is the best way to go about this. Step one is again to sit down and decide what is the best option for you to create a final presentation of your stuff. Again, I got a feeling that most of you are going to kind of steer in the direction of something you're familiar with, like a PowerPoint, a Google Present, something like that. If you wanted to push yourself, or if you wanted to go about something more creative, there are other tools that are available that you could utilize. You could do Prezi, Canva. There is the option to, instead of doing a more traditional presentation, you could take your information and organize it into a travel booklet. There is an online resource that you could use for that I'll drop onto the post, or you could do it physical. Again, you could create it with paper and pens and markers and stuff like that. Again, if you're feeling real ambitious about it, again, obviously with something like that, the final or the fourth step of this process might be a little more difficult, but again, it's your decision. The final one is something, again, that you could, if you are someone who wants to be more creative and you have some kind of familiarity with editing tools, you could make little video documentary about your civilization. So you could, again, be as creative or straightforward as you wanted to. It's your call. Once you settle in on what style of presentation you're going to create, the next step is to sort through the information that you found about your Civ and organize it. Again, all presentations will incorporate the basics portion of phase one. That's the intro. So whether that is the first thing and first slide you have, or the first page of your travel booklet, could be the first interview you stage for your video documentary. Again, it doesn't matter. Everyone is going to talk about the basics of their phase one. After that, you get to pick and choose the pieces of your research that you like or you feel like are really strong. Again, I need to hear about 3 other sections of this. So you could choose your 5 themes of geography. You could choose one of the aspects of spec. So again, social, political, economic, cultural, and just 3. No more than that, no less than that, unless, of course, you'd like to lose points. The whole purpose of the information you choose to talk about is trying to support the big idea of why was your civilization significant? Why was it important? That question that I've been asking you over and over and over again about all of the things we discussed, that's what all this research is trying to help you understand, is why was your civilization significant? And maybe it wasn't very significant for a long period of time, but it did something that made it unique and different, and in the grand scheme of the world, special. And that's what you're going to be focusing on trying to tell me about. That's what I want to learn by the end of all of your presentations that you create. Once you have, again, chosen your tool, organized all your information, put it all together, step 3 is recording your presentation. So if we were all together in class, you would go up in front of the class and you would give your little speech about your civilization and you'd show your visual aid and you do all that good stuff. Yep, we can't do that in virtual. So what I'm expecting you to do is to record yourself giving the presentation as if you were in front of your classmates. So there, again, a couple of different ways to do this. You could do it as if we were in a class, and again, you're in front of the camera, and I can see you talking and giving your speech and going through your visual or flipping through your booklet. You could do something like I'm doing right now, where you are talking and the visual is playing on the screen. I will be holding a little how to record Google Meet next week for those of you who are ready by that point or just want to get a heads up on that. Again, there's also, if you don't feel comfortable recording, and again, it's something that you don't have the skills for, or you, again, are nervous about recording and so on and so forth, you could schedule a time to just physically present it with me. You would share your screen and you would talk to me, again, directly as if you were giving a presentation in class, but just directly to me. Again, that wouldn't be able to happen until after the due date. Excuse me. So it's something you'd have to email me directly and we'd set it up separately. Okay. Step 4, the final step for all of this, is to submit your project. Again, this is, of course, again, a little bit complex depending on which style of, again, presentation you go about. If you are going to be creating a physical presentation, again, you're going to submit that along with any notes you have directly to Turnitin.com. If you did something like a video documentary or the travel booklet, again, you would be submitting, again, the notes part of it. So what you would be saying in your speech. So everyone will submit something to Turnitin.com regardless of the style of project they choose. How much gets submitted, that's where things will go a little bit different. Okay. The video recording of your presentation has to be submitted. You can attach it right to the classroom post and submit it that way, which I know most of you guys know how to do. Or if you don't know how to do that, you can just directly email it to me, and that's perfectly fine. Okay. I will start accepting submissions for your final projects June 1st. So that's next Monday. You can start turning them into me if you're done. And again, this is the nice thing about virtual here, is this is totally self-paced. So you can decide, again, how quickly you want to go about getting this done and getting this submitted to me. The last day that this is accepted, and there are no exceptions to this rule, is June 8th. So 1 week after that. So that's Monday, June 8th. When you submit your project, you're done. That's it for World. There's nothing else to be done. It's the final item overall. And as you're looking at this and thinking about, okay, this is our last thing to do in Worlds, great, awesome, fabulous, fantastic, please make sure you spend some time looking at the rubric for this project. It's broken into 3 different sections. The first is based solely off of your research and the things that you are going to be looking at and including in your presentation. So making good claims as to what are these different things. The evidence, of course, is the specifics from your research. Analysis is your explanation. You should be using good, again, high school level language, vocab, stuff like that. The next section depends on what kind of presentation style you go with. So format will be a little bit different from each. And then the last section is about your presentation you submit, your recorded presentation. So again, are you highlighting all of the information you need? Did the recording of your presentation go okay? Is your presentation quality good? Is it the first time you've said any of those words out loud, or did you practice before you recorded? Do you have a smooth transitions, like all that kind of stuff? And then the final piece is citations. So making sure that you're citing everything. If you did the work beforehand with your research, you already cited it. It's all good to go. You can just put it on there and move on. Hey, when it comes to this project, like I said, this is it. So my suggestion, work on it a little each day. It's not as stressful then, and you can get it kind of submitted and not have to worry about it. If you put it off to the last second, it's going to be super stressful, overwhelming, and you're not going to do a good job. This project is worth 100 points. Let's let that sink in for a second. This project has the capability to sink a grade if you put it off and you do a really bad job. It also has the potential to do really good things for a grade if you put in the work and you make sure it looks nice and you get it submitted on time and you do all the things that are required of you. So please take this very seriously, okay? The final thing before this little presentation is done and you get to work has to do with extra credit and then just reminders, I suppose. Some people have been reaching out to me already, and I've been reaching out to individuals too, with those who are feeling a little bit anxious about this coming to a close thing, and maybe virtual hasn't been great to you. It hasn't been easy, and I understand that. I totally get it, okay? But all right, that does not give anybody an excuse to be able to come in at the last minute and just instantly pass. I want to work with you. So this is what I've come up with. Okay. So everybody is going to get this opportunity. This week and this week alone, the extra opportunity for you has to do with your research project. Okay. I'm going to be opening a brand new Turnitin Dropbox. And what you'd be able to do if you missed out on a phase or you didn't do a good job on your initial research, you can go back, do more research, add more information, add new sources, fully commit yourself to getting your research good. I mean, this is not a bad step for all of you guys to consider doing, is looking back through your packets. It's part of the process of this final presentation. So if you do decide to add things to your packet or to adjust things, add details, do what you got to do, and you want to get points back for this process, you have to submit it to Turnitin.com before 3 p.m. on Friday, and there are no exceptions to this. This is an extra opportunity already. So if you want to get some of those extra credit points, again, you can submit that updated, new, cleaner, more information, more effort put into it, whatever it has to be, and you'll be able to earn some credit there. The other opportunity that I'm going to be having available to anybody who wants to take advantage of it is going to be accepting any missing work from Q4 only. Okay, so just Q4. Please be thoughtful about that. Q3 is done. There's no fixing any of that. But Q4, which encapsulates a lot of different stuff, I will accept anything that is missing. So there's zeros in the grade book, okay? Zeros only. I'm only concerned with zeros. If you want to, you can go back through, complete that work, and submit it through Classroom. Again, you're not going to turn it into Turnitin.com at this point because, well, it's not worth me opening all of those Dropboxes anyways. If you submit those missing things, and that includes your Unit 3 and Unit 4 study aids, I will accept those. You can submit them through Classroom, and then by the end of next week, I will go through, I'll grade those things. You won't earn full credit on everything, but you'll get partial credit, which will help grades. Again, that's points earned back. That's things that'll make things a little bit more comfortable going into the end of this. The last thing on here is just focusing on your final project, making sure all that stuff gets turned in. As always, please email me with questions. Make sure that you're reaching out and using your resources as much as possible. Again, keep checking Classroom. I will be posting reminders and items each day to try and keep you guys on track, even though I won't be necessarily in contact with you all the time. And with that said and done, I hope you have a good day.